Okay. Hi. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me today. I hope you had a good break. So today I'm going to talk to you a bit more about connecting with communities, where, what we want to do at Facebook is kind of explain to you today how to connect with your communities and why it's important to use social media to connect with different communities. It could be communities within your different organizations, your different government organizations and agencies. And I'm going to give you some examples on Facebook and Instagram and end off with some safety tips. So I think he has introduced me earlier, so I won't introduce myself again. But just really jumping in to give you a bit of an idea about Facebook's mission. It's really to give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. And this mission is very important at Facebook because every single thing that we do in terms of building products, the outreach that we do in different countries, we live by this mission. We want to connect the world and build community. And one of the key pillars of building community is civic engagement. It's how you engage, your constituents on the ground, especially if you're government agencies, if you're politicians as well. Civic engagement on Facebook is about helping people have a voice, right? Have a voice in government at every level and every single day. All right, we want people to be able to connect with their elected representatives, with the government agencies that affect their livelihoods. We want government agencies or politicians to also engage with people on the ground. I want to show you some of our top line numbers of this is where we are at Facebook. 2.2 billion people on Facebook each month, 1.5 billion people every single day on Facebook. On WhatsApp, 1.5 billion people on WhatsApp each month, Messenger, 1.3 billion, and 1 billion people on Instagram. And altogether, on an average month, we have about 2.5 billion people using all these apps on an average month, 2.5 billion people across the world. And you may be asking, some of you may not have a presence, and you may be asking, why should I have a presence on Facebook? What's so important to have a presence on Facebook or even Instagram? Well, one of the main reasons is that if you don't, people are already talking about you. They're either talking about you, your organization, your agency, and if you're not having a presence on Facebook, you're letting others characterize who you are and what you stand for. So it's important for you to get online and be there and be present. And also let your constituents or followers get to know you better. Every organization has a voice, has a tone of voice, has things to say, has messages to put out. How can you use, social media, Facebook, to push out your messages? Similarly, every politician, every government face, person, official is a human being. How can you let people get to know who you are and what you stand for? Facebook allows you to control your news, all right? The message, by delivering it directly to the people who you're following. At the end of the day, it's like your own media platform, right? You don't have to go to the mass media to try to get your message out. On Facebook, you can do that by video, live video, even messages, status updates, and links that you may want to post. And also in times of crisis, right? In times of crisis, it's important. Facebook can reach out and be an effective channel to reach out to people so they can prepare themselves, they can keep themselves safe, and they can be informed on where to go in times of crisis. Right? So this is why you should have a presence on Facebook. I want to show you some stats on world leaders and governments on Facebook across the globe. 91% of all governments have an official Facebook presence. 109 heads of states, 89 prime ministers, 72 foreign ministers. A lot of countries around the world all have key presence on Facebook and even Instagram nowadays.
Roy,
Yes.
how many of them are in Asia? I'm here.
How many of them in Asia? I don't have the stats for Asia right now, but I would say every key leader, heads of state, especially now in Thailand, has presence on Facebook and Instagram. And this is where hard power and soft power comes in. All right, if you don't already know, hard power is the exercise of influence, right? Through cohesion, force, payments and economic sanctions. And soft power, is the ability to change mindsets, influence behavior through things like diplomacy, culture, and different connections that you have on a global basis. And social media, digital diplomacy, social media plays very much into soft power. And when you look at why does soft power matters, because networks that you have online, all right, help to shape global outcomes. The way governments are connected with NGOs, with civil society, with multilateral organizations, public sector, regional governments, how you're connected with each other, how you engage with each other is very important. It shapes global outcomes. All right, people are influenced by what they see and the messages they see. So I want to show you some stats on Facebook in Thailand, because I'm sure you're all interested to know how many numbers you have. Sorry, we have 52 million people accessing Facebook in Thailand every single month. All right, on an average basis, and 35 million logging in every single day. All right, so where it gets important is that out of this 52 million, 51 million log on by the mobile phone. All right, the mobile phone, the medium of choice. And 35 million every single day on a mobile phone. So all of you have, when you're creating your post, creating your video as well. Because you need to create for the platform. I want to show you some key stats. This is by the We Are Social research that's done every year, and it's put out every start of the year. So this was from January 2019. The average daily time spent using social media on any mobile device, on average, 3 hours, 10 minutes. And when you look at the younger generation, this 3 hours goes much higher. It could be even 4 hours. And when you look at the most active social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Line, Messenger, Instagram, and the rest. So it's very important to have a presence on Facebook. And it's important to use Facebook well, as well. All right, the language on Facebook we have seen in the past 4 or 5 years have been becoming more visual. From a lot of text-based updates, you're starting to get photos, you're starting to get videos of the food you eat, the places you go, the people you interact with. And more so nowadays, you're starting to see virtual reality and augmented reality type videos or pictures. If you don't already know, if you use your Android phone or your Apple phone, you take a nice panoramic photograph, you upload it to Facebook, it automatically creates a nice 360-like picture. And we just announced, actually this week, we now can take, well, some of you will now be able to take 3D pictures. So that the picture kind of gives you that 3D effect. Some of you would have it activated already, some of you won't. It's going to gradually roll out by the end of the year. But that's the kind of things we're seeing on Facebook, like new technology, new images, new video. But one of the key things that world leaders, government officials do well is really have authentic communication. And that's so very important when you have a presence on Facebook. Either as an organization like the Queensland Police Force, out back, they wanted to show how hot it was. And they literally fried an egg in the bonnet of a car. All right, on the bonnet of a car. This is real, taken by the iPhone, off-the-cuff moments, engaging, authentic moments. You have Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong in Singapore replying to comments by himself. You have people, public, making comments on his post, and he does make an effort to reply himself. These are authentic moments that you can have on Facebook, and you need to have authentic moments for people to understand who you are and to connect to you. One of the key things is also interact. Interact with fans, interact with your followers. A few good examples here. On the left example, Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam, just 2 months ago, she did a Facebook Live Q&A. Asking the fans to ask her questions about policy matters relating to Hong Kong, and she would answer them on the live broadcast. We have the United Nations General Assembly, the Secretary General did a Facebook Live as well, just a couple of weeks back, and he answered questions from fans as well. And of course, if you have outdoor events, road shows, all these things, it's great for, Facebook Live is great for outdoor events. So how can you use new technologies and social media as your broadcast medium to push out your messages and your thoughts on policies and your positions? right? You need to interact with fans as well. I want to talk about Instagram as well. Instagram, we have a large following of Instagram users in Southeast Asia, 1 billion active users across the world, 500 million daily active users of Instagram, 80% outside US, 400 million users of stories, and I'll explain what that is later, 150 million people using the Explore tab to discover new accounts on Instagram. And when you're talking about Instagram, it is very much a lot of the younger generation, all right, using Instagram. And if you want to reach out to the youth of today, you have to see how you can use Instagram to reach out to them. You know, Instagram is a visual medium. It's a place to follow your passions, the events, explore new worlds, you know, the celebrities, the personalities, the agencies that you want to follow. All right, Instagram is about inspiration, is about creativity. And when you look at Thais on Instagram, you have about 15 million Thai people on Instagram on a monthly basis. 63% are women, and 37% are men. So, you know, that goes when you want to kind of create certain mediums, when you kind of take certain photos, you may want to push it out, mainly for women, maybe. So, some more interesting stats. The average number of sessions a day, the average number of times a day a person picks up their phone to check Instagram 16 times a day in Thailand. All right? And each time they pick up their phone, they spend about 31 seconds on average surfing through. And they follow an average of 160 accounts. All right, 160 people on their account, and they're looking through all the different posts, their stories, spending 31 seconds each time they scroll. So what are some of the best practices on Instagram? Because I know it's generally quite a new medium, and not many people are using it as well in terms of government and politicians. So I want to kind of give you some examples. Some best practices. First of all, there are 4 different ways to share, right? There's photos, videos, stories, and going live. Right, but similarly to Facebook, one of the most important things is to be authentic. All right, authentic communication with your audience. All right, visual moments with a voice, be real. All right, how can you be real? State Department, an example. You know, showcasing a meeting that's happening, but it's outside looking in. It's almost as though you're transporting followers into where you are, because you're like the outside looking in. Even with the European Parliament, all right, everyone knows how the Parliament building looks like, so they thought they'll take, you know, some nice pictures of the staircase of the building. All right, transport your followers into different locations, bring them into the event, all right, inspire them. Share unexpected moments. All right, you may have read this in the press. It went viral. Angela Merkel shared this famous photo earlier this year. I think it was in the G20 summit. A lot of animosity there in this particular perspective, but not many people know that PM Abe also shared his own version. You know, maybe it's a bit more consultative. You know, unexpected moments, different perspectives. Great way to kind of humanize different people or demonize different people. Other great unexpected moments, President Tsai in Taiwan. Earlier this year, she had an American trip, and you know, she showcased behind the scenes moments of a crew in the airplane, you know, giving out In-N-Out burgers. And anyone who's been in the US know that In-N-Out burgers are one of the best burgers, freshest burgers to eat when you're in LA or San Fran. So she was giving them out. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, that's her father tying her shoelace. Authentic personal moments, you know, really humanizes who she is. It allows you to connect with these people. All right, everyone can understand and appreciate their parents tying their shoelace. All right, you know, when we're all young, that used to happen. Instagram stories, there's 400 million users of stories every single day across the globe. And stories is like a medium that breaks the fourth wall. Because when you use your phone, all right, to take upfront personal photos or video footage, it's almost as though the person watching it are right there. All right, so you give a person a real insight into a day in the life of the organization, of the politician. You know, you can give them behind the scenes moments that they normally wouldn't see elsewhere. Kensington Palace has shared a day in the life of the Prince and Princess of Wales when they visited France. Great way to use raw photos, raw videos. And if you don't already know how stories work, after a 24-hour period, these stories disappear. All right, so it's only up for a 24-hour period. But it's a great way to showcase fun moments like organizations like Giving.sg in Singapore. There's an NGO there. You know, fun moments, highlighting text, writing on the photos and videos. You have PM Abe. His account is quite a good account. You know, as a Japanese politician, you know, some may think it's a bit stuffy. You know, his image outside is a bit stuffy. But if you look at his Instagram account, he's definitely more humanized there. You know, it's definitely more lighthearted, and you get to know who he is as a prime minister. Meeting other world leaders is bottom looking up, different angles, not your usual straight up posed angles in a meeting as well. So Instagram stories is a great way to kind of showcase different aspects and facets of a person's life or organization's life. I want to show you some other case studies for Instagram as a whole. I said how Instagram can be used to humanize relationships, and this is a great example from Angela Merkel. So, you know, she used to be known as the Iron Woman of Germany, and her team specifically used Instagram to kind of humanize who she was, soften her image, especially the younger generation, and they ensured that the photos that they put up were lighthearted moments, softer moments with other world leaders. Another great example from the Paris mayor, they wanted to crowdsource ideas using Instagram. So what they did was to put up artist impressions of the locations they wanted to redevelop, and they put captions of basically how they wanted to redevelop these locations, and they asked for people's comments. Great way to interact, great way to engage. So these are just a couple of ways that, you know, politicians, governments around the world have been using Instagram and stories to their benefit. And without going to too much detail, I would encourage you to kind of try it out as well if you haven't. So I want to also jump into safety, because as much as people are online and they're looking at all kinds of content, you know, we know as a company that we need to keep people safe. And there are lots of things that we're working on to keep people safe. And one of the key things is that we have community standards. All right, well, community standards, you know, we police a lot of different kind of policies, from hate speech to bullying to child pornography to terrorism, a lot of different kind of policies that community standards kind of police. We want Facebook to be a good place, a clean place, a safe place for people to engage on, and when they feel safe engaging on a platform, hopefully they will want to use it more. So I want to show you a video.
At Facebook, our goal is to create a welcoming and safe environment so people can share and connect with their friends and families. Every day, people around the world share billions of things on Facebook. The conversations that happen here reflect the diversity of this global community. But occasionally, people share content that can be abusive or harmful. That's why we created Facebook Community Standards, to explain what kinds of things can and cannot be shared on the site. For instance, you can't bully or harass someone or post hate speech or threats of violence. If you see something that you think violates these standards, report it by using the report link so that we can review it and take action. Not all disagreeable or disturbing content violates our community standards, but by blocking, unfollowing, or unfriending the person or page that posted the content, you can control what you see on Facebook.
So yes, there we are. I think it ended a bit early, but so that's community standards. We also have safety check, where, you know, we help to unite people in different times of crisis or areas of crisis with loved ones. So for example, if there's an earthquake, like in Japan, you know, and there's enough mass people talking about it, Facebook safety check is automatically turned on so that people can mark themselves safe. And their friends and family around the world will know that they're safe. So this is part of an effort to ensure that you know, we're spreading the love and ensuring people can share that they are safe in times of crisis. Some other tips on safety, you know, especially if you're using Facebook already, be aware of scams. right? Especially with there are a lot of politicians here, there are a lot of government officials here. It's important to be aware where there are lots of people sending phishing emails to you to try to get you to click on these links to try to fish for your password information and sometimes even financial information. So whenever you get emails like that, always double check the source. And if in doubt, just go to the URL that you can just type in on your browser, and then you can just make the change of your password, or you can check your settings yourself without clicking on the links on the emails. Another thing that the video showed earlier is report abusive content. All right, so every single piece of content, comments, pages, profiles on Facebook can all be reported. Oftentimes, it's that check on the top right-hand side of the box. You'll be able to report content for for all kinds of things. Hate speech, could be fake profiles, impersonation. Report things that you think are not suitable. Right? The reason why is that we will look at every single report. Right? Sometimes you may think, oh, Facebook won't look at millions of reports that we have every single day, but we do. We will look at every single report, and you only need to report it once for us to have a look. It doesn't matter if many people report that same piece of content, we will still review it even if there's one report. And we also report it, of course, in Thai language. All right, whether it's in English, Thai language, and many other languages across the world, we have our market teams and our different reviewers around the world to report and review these content. I want to quickly talk about some security measures which you want to take note of and ensure that your account is safe. Under settings on your phone, go to security and login. There are two key things you need to turn on to keep yourself really safe and prevent your account from being hacked. Login alerts is one, where you'll be alerted if someone has your login details and tries to log in on an unrecognized browser or app. And similarly, two-factor authentication, where if someone has your account details, they want to log in an unrecognized browser or app, they'll need an SMS code that will be sent to your phone. So very important, as people in government and politicians, you need to make sure you keep your account safe. So I'd just like to end off this section because I know that elections could be coming up in Thailand, and I want to show you, what are the key things that Facebook are looking at when it comes to elections. And this includes Thailand. So we want to ensure that we protect elections integrity on Facebook. So just in a very brief look, one slide. Firstly, the goal of Facebook in elections, all right, is to make it harder for nefarious actors to interfere in elections on Facebook, but make it easier for the people, right, the countrymen, to have their voices heard and to actually act in the political process. So that's our goal. And there are 5 key things that we look at when we look at protecting elections integrity. The first thing is that we crack down on fake accounts. There's a lot of work being done to crack down on fake accounts, and earlier this year in the Q1, we released a transparency report where we announced that more than 98% of fake accounts were taken down proactively before it was even reported to us. And in the Q1 of this year, we took down more than 583 million fake accounts across the globe. We also reduced the distribution of false news. So there's a lot of work going on to reduce false news. We know that's an issue. Cracking down on fake accounts is one. We also look to crack down on the economic narrative, because a lot of people, on Facebook push out false news, wanting you to click on a link, so that when you click on that browser or click on that website, you'll see a website with lots of ads, and they earn money from the impressions on the ads and the ads that you may click through. So by countering some of these economic narratives, we stop false news from spreading. And we want to make advertising more transparent as well. So one of our key efforts on ensuring that advertising is transparent is that if you go to any single page right now, be it a brand page, a telco page, a government page, a politician page, you'll see on the left-hand side where all the tabs are, this info and ads tab. And this info and ads tab will show you at any one time that you're clicking on it, all the ads that are currently running by that page. All right? All the ads that are currently running on Facebook, Instagram, or Messenger. So we just want to be transparent. We want to make sure that anybody can see the ads that page is currently running. Fourthly, disrupting bad actors. So, we understand that there's been reports of coordinated activity, foreign interference, domestic interference, and these are all done by bad actors. And we have security teams, 20,000 people working on security across the globe, looking into these bad actors. We have caught, quite a few in the last few months. We have announced in July this year, 32 or over 32 accounts were taken down in the US, suspected of Russian interference. In August this year, we took down more than 600 over accounts coming from Iran. So these are coordinated attempts by bad actors to kind of push out misinformation in each of these different countries that they want to engage. And rest assured, we are looking into what we can detect in elections, not only in Thailand, but around the region. And this is ongoing work. Lastly, we also support and inform electorate. So in countries where they have elections, we have pushed out different civic tools and civic products where we remind people to get out and vote. Today is a voting day. Go out and vote. For more information, click here. We work with electoral commissions, government regulators, even NGOs to ensure that we roll out some of these products in different countries. So this is just a very fast look, a quick look at what we're doing on elections, because I understand that that's coming up, and we want to make sure that we actually do mention that on some of the work that we're doing. So I hope you have your questions now, because I just want to end off here and open up for questions that I'll be happy to answer. Thank you very much. So if anyone has any questions about anything that I presented,
เข้าใจว่าเขาก็กำลังจะไปพบแค่นี้ so can you explain a little bit on the engagement on the general election in Asia? What will be your activity with the local government?
We've talked to them. We've started conversations with them. We speak to NGOs and CSOs on the ground as well to understand, what people are seeing and how we can, work on some issues. We continue working with the ministries as well. So it's a multifaceted approach, both government, CSOs on the ground, and of course the staff on the ground. So it's quite a multifaceted approach.
ก็ Alright, then thank you for the comprehensive presentation.
Thank
and
you.
Hopefully you have a successful meeting tomorrow.
Thank you very much for the
general
opportunity. Thank you
elections.
very much. Thanks.
เชิญพี่ตินะครับพี่สรนันท์นะครับในการเป็นตัวแทนของหลักสูตรฟิโก้ในการมอบของที่ระลึกนะครับขอเสียงปรบมือให้พี่ติด้วยครับนะครับเชิญตรงกลางเลยครับพี่ตรงกลางเลยครับนี่น่ารักมากครับ Thank you so much for your kind contribution yeah please แล้วก็เซสชั่นต่อไปครับ